All right, hello, welcome. And it is the kickoff of our glance behind the scenes into what this social media influencer life, this online health coach business, what is it? What do you do? How does it work? And how do you get started? I'm going to start by introducing myself because some of you I know on a very personal level, and some of you have been challengers of mine, and some of you have been friends of mine on social media for a while, and some of you I just connected with. So let me take a few minutes and tell you a little bit more about who I am and how I got here talking to you today. So my name is Megan Blinka. I have been a coach now for 4.5 years, but before that I was a CPA working in a public accounting firm. So if you've ever heard of the auditor life or auditor references, that was me. I went to college to be an accountant. I went for finance and accounting. I got out of school. I was driven down this career path. And then I met my Prince Charming. And as soon as I saw him, everything just changed. And I didn't want to be traveling anymore. And I wanted to start a family, and my whole world shifted. But I still thought I would want to be a working mom. So we got married, we had our first baby, and I remember being on that maternity leave, and everyone would ask me, are you excited to go back? And I'd say, no, I'm not yet, but I'm gonna be there. And the days trickled by, and the day to return to work came, and I remember just coming home from work that day in tears, and I didn't want to go. And I thought that's what I was meant to do. I was meant to have this successful business career, and I was gonna, wear this suit and go do all, I had this vision, and my reality of what success was to me totally changed. Now at the time, we had just built a new home that we built for our baby girl and our little family of 3. And to be honest, staying home just wasn't an option at that point. But I spent the next 2 years working, coming home in tears a lot. I was working pretty much 14, 15, 16-hour days. I should say away from home that long. I had about an hour commute each way to work. And when we became pregnant with our second child, we decided, you know what? We're going to figure this out. So being the accountant that I am, I got myself a little spreadsheet, and I began to figure out what were the absolute necessities every month that we had to pay. What were the average bills? What was our mortgage? What were all these things costing us? And could I afford to be home? So we sold my car. I became like a coupon queen. I could find a coupon on anything. I was a bargain hunter, and we were like, okay, we can make this work temporarily. We're going to make this work. So I thought everything was just coming to my dreams. We had just had our second child. I was now home with a newborn and a 2-year-old, almost 2-year-old. She would have been 22 months at the time. And I thought this was going to be the best life ever. And if you have kids, you may know that momming 24/7 is not quite a glamorous job. Now, it's where I wanted to be. It's where I prayed to be for years. That's all I wanted, was to be home with them. But I was losing my mind. In the nicest, kindest way, I was losing my mind. So, I went through those first couple months. I remember watching a girl on my social media, and she had 2 kids similar in ages to mine, and she was so happy and so fit and active. And every night I would sit on the couch and I'd show my husband her picture, and I'd be like, look at her. There she goes, doing those handstands in the yard again. Look, there she goes. She's drinking that chocolate shake she claims tastes so good. I was annoyed by her. And I'll tell her that to her face now, because she knows how much she changed my life. But I went from being someone who was annoyed to her to being inspired by her. And I reached out to her, and I was like, I'm not where I want to be. There are so many other things. This is not where I expected myself to be, as this stay-at-home mom, living out what I thought was my dream world. And I was miserable. So she helped me get started. And what began as something that was really just for my health and fitness, I wanted to get back to the pre-baby weight. I think a lot of moms can relate to that. There was a number that I read on the scale the day I found out that I was pregnant, and I was bound and determined to get back to that number. But what I found in that first challenge group I joined was a community of women that I didn't even know I needed. Like I said, I was coming up, I would have been 9 months into my stay-at-home mom life, and I had no idea how wonderful it was to talk to other women. Even though it was all virtual, even though I was a fly on the wall for the first 2 weeks of my challenge group, I was seeing these other women who had similar struggles as me, who maybe they loved the cookies as much as I did. They didn't want to get up and work out. Their kids were up all night, but they were doing it anyways. And I saw the value of being plugged into a positive community. So what started as something that I needed just to lose the weight became a part that I was craving this community. So it wasn't even 2 weeks, just about 2 weeks, I guess it would have been. Day 16 of the 21-day fix program is what I was doing. On day 16, I signed up to be a coach. Now, mind you, this wasn't necessarily because I wanted to be a coach to build the business like I saw my coach doing. I needed to stick with this. I needed to stick with the community. I needed to stick with the programs because I was feeling better than ever. Yes, I lost the weight. I met the weight loss goals I set for myself. But I was loving this new me, this energized me, this mom who used to plank during the commercials of her kids' TV shows. Like, I uncovered the mom that I was longing to become. But when I signed up as a coach, my coach informed me that not only was I going to get the discount, which again, stay-at-home mom, $0 income, we needed that discount to continue, but I could also help people. And maybe my goal wasn't to become what she was. I saw her as this 6-figure earner and she was doing these incredible things. I'm like, good for you. I just want to have to, I wanted 2 things, and I'll be honest. I wanted the need to stop clipping coupons every time I went to the grocery store because I didn't buy healthy stuff. I only bought what was on sale, and I only bought, the bare minimum of what we could afford. And I was like, if I only had a little bit more money, I could buy avocados. Like, those were the thoughts that went through my mind. And I wanted a pedicure. Selfishly, I wanted to be able to do something for myself. So that's what it was that got me started. Once I plugged into the team aspect of it, and I saw these women who supported one another and helped each other out and gave each other tips, and got plugged into the new coach training and saw that, there was someone who was going to help me figure this business out. This wasn't on me to do my own. There was someone who was going to guide me step by step. And once I got through, it was going to guide me to the next step. I was like, I think I can do this. And I remember telling my husband, I've watched her in my challenge groups. She runs these great challenge groups. I can run great challenge groups. She's built an incredible business, and I can build an incredible business too. I didn't set out to build the 6-figure business that we have today. I set out to just do a little bit of something for myself. But it was so incredible, that feeling, knowing that I was helping people. I have a box sitting right there on my shelf. It's my feel good box. And it's the box that I put all those messages into when someone says to me, you changed my life, or you saved my life, or because of you, I'm off the medicine that I've been on since, I was in my mid-20s. Because of you, I was able to get out of depression, and, I have a better marriage with my spouse. Like, all those things started to transform, and I realized that this wasn't just going to be a hobby. This wasn't just going to be something I was doing on the side. This was something that was going to become my business. So I sit here today, 4.5 years in as a coach. I lead a 6-star, 3-time elite team. And mark my words, we will continue our repeat action to be a 4-time elite team this year. I know we will. Our team is growing and just inspiring so many people every day. And it's incredible to think how we are where we are today, all because of that choice I made 4.5 years ago of watching my coach and thinking, I can do what she can do. There's nothing holding me back. So that's a little bit about me and kind of how I got started. If you're not already familiar with Beachbody and how the company works or what it is, we are blessed because we are able to partner with an incredible company. We're not just Team Beachbody, but we're Team Beachbody coaches. We're independent coaches that we have the freedom and the flexibility to build our own standalone business, to be our own CEO. But we don't have to do all the legwork that most companies have to do to build a business. So when you think of where Beachbody came from, back in 1998, there were 2 guys, our CEOs, Carl Deichler and John Cogden, who had this idea to create this fitness company. It was actually called $1 Million Body. So if you ever hear a reference to it, that was the original name. But they created the famous Power 90, and then they came out with P90X, Tony Horton. What they found was when people worked together and supported one another, they got better results. So they were kind of like, all right, well, the people who were selling out of these programs like hotcakes, like people were buying them left and right. But the people who got results with the program were the people who connected in the chat boards that they created. At the time, nobody was getting paid to do it, but they were like, what if we take a group of people, make them our founding coaches, and then those people support everyone. Everyone gets better results. They stick with the program. everyone wins, because they didn't want to just sell you something. They wanted you to follow through with and get programs. And that was the start of it. And what started with P90X went on to Slim and Six and Insanity, which is another one that most people have heard of. And it grew. And in 2007, the Coach Network was built. And so we're now in year 11 of Team Beachbody. But we have since come out with so many programs. I believe now we have over 60 programs in our program library, and this year alone we've added 3. So it's never ending. It's constantly growing, and they do the marketing, they do the creating, they do the creation, they do the I want to say the history, what is it? Digging it up, like fact finding. I'm not saying the right word, but you get my point. They do all the research. They do the hard work. They promote it. They give us incredible information to share, and it's up to us to share it. You don't have to sell things. I think that that's a misconception that people have. We're not selling the products, we're using them, and we're sharing them with other people, because we know they work. Like, we know that, like, I can tell you I'm in week 4 of Lift 4, or not week 7 of Lift 4, and I have lifted more weight than ever before. I have more endurance through the HIIT workouts, and I'm only working out 4 days a week. I'm working out for like 2.5 hours every week. I have 3 rest days, and I love it. It's been a balance for me that I long for. And I tell you that, and then I show it to you through my social media. And it's that sharing aspect that makes Team Beachbody different from other things. So we're not just selling you a product. We're helping you with the fitness. We're helping you with the support through us as coaches. And you're getting the nutrition component as well. So that's where the Shakeology comes in, the performance line, the beach bars, the 3-day refresh, the incredible program library we have. And like I said, Beachbody creates all that for you. All that you have to do is share it. And I know that so many other people will be like, oh, well, like I've had this like Shakeology, or I don't buy that shake because I can find something cheaper in the grocery store. Keep in mind, what Beachbody has done to validate Shakeology is off the charts. They have gone through extreme measures to find the most raw, real source ingredients from all around the world. You can't pack 70 superfoods into any other shake, but they do it here. And they do it right, and that's why it is priced where it is. So when someone says, oh, sounds great, but like, I don't know, Shakeology is just a little expensive, I don't know that I'm going to do it. I had those same thoughts, guys. Like I said, stay-at-home mom, $0 income, pinching pennies to make a budget work to be able to not return to the job that was draining me. But once I tried it for a month, I remember looking at my husband and I was like, this stuff's incredible. Like, I've never felt this good. I was suffering from Crohn's disease prior to becoming a coach and learning how to fuel my body. And I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do without it. And my husband's like, just keep it. And I was like, but I can't. Like, we can't afford it. And he was like, get it. We'll figure it out. If it makes you feel that much better, it has to be worth it, and we'll figure it out. And that was the approach we took, and it worked because we figured it out, and we're very fortunate that we figured it out, because not only did Shakeology help me with my energy and a quick, easy meal that I could make with a baby on one hip and a toddler crying at my feet, but it helped me learn inside out health, and it helped me learn that I didn't need to have that Crohn's disease medicine that I was popping 3 times a day, and I didn't have to have the symptoms of Crohn's disease that I suffered from for 7 years prior, because I learned about proper nutrition. So yes, if you look at the price tag on Shakeology, one would argue that it's more expensive than other things, but you get what you pay for. And that one product alone, coach or not, I would not skip in my life, because that is the one thing that has given me back my own health and the freedom that I long for. So whenever you think about what we do as a coach, it comes down to our challenge groups. There's really 2 sides to it. I help my new coaches. I mentor them to build their businesses, and I'll talk about that piece in a second. And then the other piece is helping people get results. Whether they're your coach or just a customer, you're helping people get results. Because like they learned way back when Team Beachbody was first created, people who get results stick with it. And they need that support. And when they have the support, along with the other tools in their toolkit, they have their program, they have their Shakeology, you have your support, you've got the accountability in the group, you get results. And that's where it comes full circle. So that's what we do. You can do it however you like, because again, you're your own CEO. I run the majority of my groups through Facebook because I find that that's what works best for me and my people. I also offer the My Challenge Tracker app. Yep. They created an app for us as well. So if you don't like Facebook or don't want to use Facebook, there is an app that's free to you as a coach where you can plug in all your information and it gives your customers a place to track. So you're tracking your workout every day, your shake every day, your weight, your measurements, all that stuff's already done for you. And they help you with the content to create these. So you're not just like figuring this out on your own. You as a coach have access to tons of resources to help run these groups efficiently so that you're helping them get started right, you're supporting them on their journey, and you're helping them come to a close. Excuse me, I gotta get a drink. And when you look at other coaches, one of the most common things you'll see is people sharing results. And I think it's important to realize that this doesn't come because people want to boast and brag about what they've done. They're coming to you from this angle because they're going to show you that it works, that the programs work and the support works as long as you put in the work. And you don't have to be certified in anything fitness or nutrition. I have no certifications other than a CPA license, if you want to count that one. But I didn't have any background in fitness or nutrition, personal training, any of that. But I figured out what I needed, what worked for me, and then what would work for other people. And that's your role as a coach. You don't have to be an expert. You don't have to be fit. You don't have to have a six-pack. You don't have to be perfect. You have to be you, a person who other people can relate to, who's going to cheer them on, pick them up when they fall down, and make sure that when they start with you, you help them come to the end. And that's the biggest piece. That's what's missing from so many other like programs or companies is they don't have that piece of the coach piece, the accountability that keeps it all together. As someone who used to be at the demands of corporate life, and I couldn't take a vacation day unless I got approval, and I never knew what I would have done if my daughter got sick. Fortunately, in the 2 years that I did work in the corporate world while being a mom, she never got sick. Never once did I miss a day. And I kept thinking, what if this new baby is sick? And what if he gets sick more than she does? Like, what am I going to do? Like, what do you do? And those thoughts used to go through my mind. And like I said, fortunately, my daughter just didn't get sick. And I left before my son was born. But I think that's one of the things that I never gets old for me. When I get a phone call from my kids' school saying, they're complaining of a sore throat, they have a fever, can you come and pick them up? To be able to say right then and there, yes, has to be the top benefit of having my own business. Yes, this business will take heart and hustle and work and sacrifices. I really built this based off of the early mornings when my kids were still sleeping. And like I am now, when my kids are in bed, here I am in my office working. Because putting in the hours in the morning and at night are what gave me the freedom to be with them in the day. And yes, there are times it is hard and there are roadblocks. And yes, there's times I travel. Happily so, but I travel, so I do miss some things now, but when it started out, it was me working during the nap times, the nap time hustle, we used to call it. Like, I would talk to everyone, I'd be like, okay, nap time hustle, I can't be out, I can't miss my child's nap, because that's when I built this business. You have the glory of doing this online. If you want to take it virtual, you can do it in person. You can do it if you are into fitness. You can do it through leading fit clubs. There's so many ways that you can do this, but that's the thing. It is up to you. You can work it part-time or full-time. I, to this day, don't think I've ever actually worked 40-hour work weeks because that wasn't the point. The point was always to keep it as a part-time job that allowed me the full-time freedom with my children. So you set those hours. In the beginning, I always like to tell my coaches, you need to expect 1 hour a day. If you can commit one dedicated one dedicated hour a day to helping your business grow in whatever way it may be, you will have the base to begin to build your business. You want to skyrocket out? Go from 1 hour to 2. You really want to run to the top? Go from 2 hours to 3. But if you can be consistent every day, like when I tell you guys, like I've built this business wonderfully, and every night, I shouldn't say every night, every pretty much Sunday through Thursday nights, this is where I am. What started out on my couch and then my kitchen table and then moved to an office, it was me working every evening, because that's when I could talk to people. That's when I could write blog posts. That's when I could create content to share on my social media. It was when my kids were sleeping. So that was the sacrifice that I made. Yours might be different. Yours might not be, 3 hours. Yours might be smaller. But through doing that, we have created not just this business that's building and growing. And, our goal is to build this to where it's our legacy for our family. But at the same time, this business gave my husband and I an annual trip. When I left my corporate career, the traveling that was associated with that was gone, which I didn't like to leave them at that point. But then once I became a stay-at-home mom, I was like, I really feel like I could benefit from a girls' trip. This business has given me those girls' trips. My husband and I have been on 4 all-inclusive vacations that we've earned through helping other people. And this next spring, we're actually taking our kids with us on a cruise that we've already earned. It's already paid for. And to be able to tell the kids when they say, they can look out their bedroom and see me on a call if they're not in bed yet and be like, I built this while you were sleeping. And because of that hard work and that dedication, I get to take you on this cruise. Like, that has to be the best thing. Obviously, there's the financial rewards as well with this. As a coach, you do earn commissions off of what your customers buy from you. So that is the one piece of what we do. You're earning commissions from your customers. If somebody buys, the general number is 25%. Someone orders from you, you earn a 25% commission. As a coach, you get a 25% discount. So you can see where the two numbers correlate together. So your customers, they get, you get 25% from your customers. Coaches get a 25% discount. But beyond the straight commissions, the business side is really built from growth of your team. You can sell products in retail, but when you're able to share the opportunity of the business with someone else who wants to build the business and someone else who wants to build the business, that's where it grows. Now, when I first signed up, I didn't know a soul in the world that would want to build this business with me. I myself had no idea what an MLM, a network marketing company, even meant. So I certainly didn't know anyone else who was going to want to do it with me, but I didn't have to. All I had to do was share what I was doing, help people get started on their journey, and share with them, hey, I appreciate you sending me your sister and your mom and your cousin because you love this experience so much, but what about you sign up as a coach and then you help them get started, and that's how it spreads. Now, you don't have to do anything your own. I think that's one thing that helped me so much in the early days was I didn't want to have to do this myself. I didn't know. I didn't even know what I was doing, let alone how could I help someone else get started, and you don't have to. When you enroll, you get started, you get plugged into our new coach training. It's a virtual group. It's a self-paced group. You do it at your pace. Once you go through that self-paced training, when you have your next coach who wants to join, guess what? You get to bring them on board under you and put them in that same training. There's no recreating the wheel. There's no need for you to do anything by yourself. Yes, if you want to, you're more than welcome to take the content that I've created and duplicate that on your own, but you don't have to, and that's silly. There's no need to spend your time doing that. You want to spend your time sharing this amazing gift and opportunity with other people. So that's the gist of the new coach training. It's virtual. You enroll, you go through it. It's paced at 30 days, but like I said, if you're doing this at a faster rate, you might get through it in a week or two. If you're going a little slower, it might take you, 6 weeks to 8 weeks to get through it, and that's okay because you get to do it at your pace. And as you get new people on board with you, you can plug them into that same training. There's no need to recreate the wheel there. We do a new coach training call every week. Coming up in September, we're going to start the group right after Labor Day. So our new coach training is the 4th, and then we'll start calls every Wednesday thereafter that. And each new coach training has 4 weeks of the 30 days. We do a call. And like I said, if you didn't finish it, you just jump in the next one. And then when it comes to actually running your challenge groups, same thing. You're welcome to just bring people in with me. Yes, of course, you can run your own challenge groups. You can set them up and you can bring people on, but why? Because we can do it together. And my next I can't even think, guys. My back to school, back to you challenge group starts our prep week again right after Labor Day with day 1, September 10th, and we wrap up October 7th. So that is the next challenge group. Now, I have the information. I have guides for you that you're able to take, use, create, make them your own, and use or you can just invite them to come along with me in our group together, where not only are you going to be working on your journey and sharing your progress, you'd be able to bring people along in that group. You don't have to do any other extra work. You're just going to support them. As you go through it yourself and you learn the business and you do it, you're just going to be a challenger and you're going to help them and just basically be like, let's do this together. We go through all the training. You don't have to be a social media whiz to get started here. I didn't have Instagram or a blog when I started. I didn't have a Facebook business page. I had a Facebook personal page that I created when I was a sophomore in college, because that's when Facebook rolled out. It was randomness from college. I used it pretty much my sophomore, junior, senior year, and then really didn't touch much of Facebook after that. But we go over social media. We go over Instagram. We go over, how to build and grow your network, how to create eye-catching images. The training that we have is honestly top notch. We are part of the 4-time top company. So since the year I started, we're part of the team that was the 4-time top team. We have trainings for everything you can think of. Like, if you have a question, I probably can pull a video in about 3 minutes that would explain that question for you and then some. So you're not going to be out there Googling things on your own. You're going to be going through the trainings. We have our team pages that you plug into. You don't have to do any of this on your own. It's going to be linking arms together, running our challenge groups, running the new coach trainings. And if you get to that point where you're like, okay, I think I'm ready to do this, that's whenever you can branch out and do it yourself. But you don't have to do anything on your own by any means. I think that was the most comforting thing that I had from my coach, was like, okay, I'm going to follow your lead and I'm going to do what you tell me to do, because you've already been successful. And if I do what you do and have a fraction of the success that you've had, then it'll be a win. I went at this as I have nothing to lose and everything to gain. The cap on this business from a financial standpoint is limitless. It is what you create it to be. You can do anything. I've heard story after story of incredible success. And that's when I was like, you know what? I can do this too. They don't have anything that I don't have. There is no Beachbody coach training. It is all about you sharing your journey to influence those around you. You can do it through text messages, through emails, through social media. It's you influencing. Just like you would recommend a great restaurant to your friend, you recommend an amazing program that worked for you to other people. So that's the rundown on coaching and how I got started and what it's like on our team and what you can expect when you first get started. When it comes to enrolling, the best way to enroll is always with a challenge pack. For one, it's going to give you what you need to begin sharing your own journey. It's going to give you the fitness. It's going to give you your Shakeology or performance line or both. And it's going to get your sign-up fee waived. So when you enroll with a challenge pack, it waives the $40 coach sign-up fee. So you're basically enrolling for free. You're getting your product to start your journey. That's the best way. There are, 50, 60, 70 challenge pack options. So I always recommend starting with something that includes the on-demand all access. So like the on-demand will give you 1 year streaming to all the current programs. And then if you wanted to unlock the new Lift program that came out in July, or, joining in the future, we have the Shift Shop program that's coming out in October, the new Shift Shop one, and then Shanti's Transform 20 comes out in December. All that stuff, it's all on demand. We're now in 2018 and DVDs are no longer used. So it's all streaming. So I always include getting a challenge pack that includes one of those with your Shakeology, and then you can build it up. You can add more stuff on, but that's the basic of it. You can enroll with just Shakeology, but you then would buy the Shakeology, pay the $40 enrollment fee, and to be honest, it would net to like the cheapest challenge pack. So it would be silly to pay the fee when you can just get the challenge pack and waive the fee and get all your products that you need. If you already have Beachbody on demand, we also have what are called completion packs, which allow you to buy a bundle, again, to waive that fee if you already have the BOD membership. Then, of course, you can always pay the $40 fee if that's how you want to enroll. Not usually how I recommend that you do it, just because then it's harder for you to really share what we have to offer, but you absolutely can do it that way. I've had people who sign up, pay the fee, and then they make that their goal to earn back enough. You have 30 days after enrolling to actually purchase a challenge pack, so you can do it that way too. In terms of costs associated with becoming a coach, after you enroll and pay your fee, your cost would just be whatever products you purchase and enjoy going forward. Most people at a bare minimum stick with their Shakeology. That's going to cost you about $100 a month, depending on if you live in a place that taxes food like California or Texas. It might be a couple bucks more. Here in Pennsylvania, it's right at $99 for the Shakeology. The only other fee we have is our business service fee. It's a monthly fee of $15.95. This gives you access to all the media promotion tools that Beachbody creates, all the images they create, all the training that they create. They manage our checks for us. They directly deposit them. They do our 1099 at the end of the year. They'll send that directly to you. They do the customer service. They send a bunch of different gifts. Like I just got a new hat for hitting Success Club last month. Like they manage all the technical side of Beachbody on demand, all that stuff for $15.95 a month. I had a girlfriend who had her own business and something totally unrelated, and she was like, that's it? Like customer service alone is worth way more than $15.95 a month. So just keep that in mind. That's what you're getting with everything. So you can join with all those options. And if you're sitting here thinking like, this sounds great, but I'm not sure that I'm ready to take the plunge as a coach, you can also join any of those ways that I mentioned as a customer. You wouldn't have the $40 fee or the waiving of that attached to it, but you can begin working on your journey as well. Like I said, the new coach training, as well as the prep week for my next challenge group, my back to school group, both start the Tuesday after Labor Day. So either one would work. What I encourage you to do is think about it, pray on it a little bit, think about what resonates with you. If you have other questions, please feel free to drop them in the comments, shoot me a message here, drop me an email, let me know what I can help clarify. And I look forward to helping our new coaches get started and getting our new boot camp up and running here in the next few weeks. So thank you so much for joining in tonight. I love being able to share just a little piece of my story and my journey with you, because I know that if my coach didn't so willingly and consistently share her journey, I wouldn't be where I am today. So thanks for listening, and I will talk to y'all soon.